L. Last time I was on the show, I was housing a man who was a total narcissist asshole, but he was the reason I went celibate. Celibate.
Sorry if I
for 2.5 months afterwards. And so on June 6, 2023, you sent us a message. So I've been completely celibate since the last show. No sex, no kissing, no anything. If you'd like to have me back on to talk about my experience, I'd love to.
Yeah. So, during the time of the last podcast, I think.
Movie wrong. Sorry.
Huh?
They said I got the movie wrong.
Okay. So, during the time of the last podcast, which was like an all-girls podcast with Pearl and my other roommates at the time. These are my new roommates, but my old ones. I was dating a guy. We'll just call him by his name because I'm bold like that, Dylan. And he was living with me. So originally he was like a friend of a friend, and I had seen him at like events in like my friend's house that we were both friends with, and he was in like a really a really bad relationship. He ended up like his girlfriend at the time kicked him out and like wanted nothing to do with him. So I naturally like felt bad for him because he's not from LA, and so I was like just trying to help him. I told him I would give him like a weekend to stay at my house because I didn't want him to be with all his bags on the street. He ended up staying for 2.5 months. And we ended up having like somewhat of like a relationship, but he didn't want to call it a relationship because that would involve him like taking ownership over like me and him being together, which even though I was providing for him, giving him like food, housing, all of that, he still didn't want to put a title on it. That's so distracting. But and basically he was super abusive, very narcissistic, told me that I couldn't sleep with anyone. Huh?
He kicked your ribs in.
Yeah, he did do some pretty crazy things. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, he ended up getting kicked out by my other roommates because they band together to be like, "This is really fucked up. We hear you like screaming and crying, and we see like, bad marks and stuff like that." So they ended up kicking him out, and afterwards he told me that I was like very easily manipulated because it was so easy for him to manipulate me. He told me that I was never going to be successful because I cared too much about helping other people be successful, as in him as well. Those things, as harsh as they were to hear, and I don't want to give him any credit because the way that he went about it was very wrong. Obviously, he's not a good person, but the things that he said did hold a little bit of truth behind them, and I did kind of like, do some self-reflecting in that moment and be like, wow, you know what, I kind of am a little bit easily manipulated because I'm letting somebody, even though it's with good intentions, still take advantage of me, and that's the wrong thing to do. And then I just started doing a lot of self-reflecting, like, I'm kind of letting most men-women partners that I'm having sex with kind of take advantage of me because I'm not gaining anything from it, not even really sexually most of the time, if I'm being honest, because like, let's be real. So it was just like, to me, I was just like, I think I'm going to do a detox of just sexual partners, sexual interest, and I kind of quit completely cold turkey, and I decided that I was just going to stop and be celibate. I was celibate for 2 months, then I got SA'd. That's how I lost my celibacy, unintentionally. Then I ended up finding my partner who I am currently with now, and that was the person that I consensually gave my celibacy to and decided to be with, and am now with for 7 months, a year if you include the talking stage. So it was kind of like a full wraparound. I went from just being like complete homo to being in a monogamous committed relationship, which I never expected to be in.
And that's the one you're still
with, yes,
in?
now.
Okay.
His name's Get Lost.
And you said...
That's a pretty crazy story.